Drew Nosar, what is up, my friend?
What is up, my brother from the same mother? Maybe.
Yeah, we literally are. We literally are. The brothers from the same mother. But mom loves me more than she does you, so that's what all it gives.
I'm the milkman, you know.
Yeah, well, you're definitely different, man. There's no doubt about it, man. What's going on, dude? Hey, man, tonight's special, man. Tonight's special. We got a special guest on tonight, man. Cornhole Pro, man. This freaking Cornhole League is taking off, man. And you had reached out to Jackie, and she's willing to come on. And man, I'm excited to talk about this, man. Let's something a little different.
Excited. Between cornhole and pickleball and lacrosse, these are all up and coming sports, and we happen to get a pro on our show today. And we thank Jackie for coming on, give us her time. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to get her on and talk about this, man. But we're gonna find out, man. What it takes to be a cornhole pro. So, all right, let me see if we can get her on here real quick. Jackie, can you hear me? I think we're having.
There you are.
There we go. And look who's joining us. It's okay. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Is my mic on?
Yes, it's on.
Good.
Okay, so it's that button. If the button's back here, I can't ever see it. So
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So, Greg, you didn't get the memo about the shirt for the right gear there.
I like Greg's shirt though.
Everybody's got that Under Armour stuff going on.
Yeah.
Oh, that I want.
There goes our guest. Well, Sam, see, you come on, and then our guest goes off.
Yeah. So I scared her away. She'd ask about the mic, but
I think we literally just did a test, and we come on air, and then it's not working. So I don't know what to say, man. Blame it on Russia.
Yeah, I will. That's the beauty of these live events.
We got a sanction on our live stream.
Yeah.
Jackie, can you hear me?
There she is.
I'm sorry. It was all like muffled and everything, and I had to restart everything, I think.
It's all good. Well, welcome to the show. What's up?
Thanks for
Jackie,
having
me. Say your last name for everybody.
Sayasone.
Sayasone.
Okay. All right. I wouldn't have guessed that in 10 tries.
I would have completely butchered that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Jackie, hey, thank you so much for coming on. This is a show. It's about sports, and the Cornhole League in itself. I memean, getting ESPN exposure has completely taken off, and we appreciate you joining us. And let's talk about yourself first. Let's talk about where you're from, where you grew up, and what the heck got you into cornhole.
Well, I'm from Nebraska. I grew up in a little small town called Dakota City. I grew up on a farm, and then after college, I moved to Omaha, and I kind of just started playing sand volleyball a lot. Well, then a buddy of mine was asked me to go play cornhole one day at a bar, and we went over there and played, and I met all these people that played ACL, and they told me to come out to a blind draw, and So that's how it kind of all started for me. I just started playing with those people, and before, I thought I was so good. I was going to tailgates and I was just winning and tumbling in the bags and stuff. And then when I went to that event, everybody was just had a flat bag and were just their bags looked so much better than mine. So after that, like after a week, I just went and bought my own bags, and then they just told me, keep practicing your flat bag, and that's what I did. And next thing you know, a week later, then I came back, I was just a whole different player.
So is it cheating you being from a Cornhusker state, being a pro at Cornhole? Nebraska is all of corn.
Or is that where our best cornhole players are going to come from? Is it going to be
That's
Nebraska?
exactly where the best cornhole players are going to come from.
That's what I get that question all the time. Yeah, all the time. But yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have an answer.
You just run with it.
Yeah, no question.
We're
So
the SEC of cornhole.
you were a soccer player before this, right?
Yes.
So talk about what happened. How'd you transition from soccer into cornhole?
So I always wanted to become a pro soccer player growing up, and I had this blood disorder. It's called beta thalassemia. Basically, my red blood cells, they don't mature all the way, and so it affects my oxygen. So endurance wasn't an option for me anymore. So that's how I started playing sand volleyball, just because it was like less endurance. So I kind of just had to just kind of stick to a small school, and then I originally wanted to go play at UNC, and I had dreams of becoming a pro soccer player, and it was just kind of hard to manage all that, the health issues. But after the sand volleyball, it was great for me because it wasn't so much endurance, and then when I found cornhole, it was even better for me. But it's still kind of I still get out of breath and winded every once in a while, it's manageable though. But yeah, it's tough to live with for sure.
Where do you get your competitive drive from? Is this not something? Is your whole family competitive like that, or did you grow up around a bunch of brothers, or what gives you that drive like that?
I honestly don't know. I have 3 older sisters. They're not really that competitive. I had one other sister that played sports, but I think it was kind of my dad. He just kind of pushed me. He was really hard on me. Everything I did, it was just, even if I had, like a B plus, he'd be like, well, or an A minus. He's like, well, it's not A plus, or it's not, not an A. But it just,
I got you.
My whole life, my dad just kind of pushed me. So it's kind of, I think, I just always try to do better and stuff. So that's where the drive came from.
I got you. Talk about the ACL. Okay, so this is, as I said, it's cornhole itself is pretty unique. Like, we're kayak fishermen. We travel all across the country. It's kind of like I said, it's a cult following. And every campground we go to, there's always cornhole, man. It's just a part of our lives, I suck at it. I'm absolutely terrible. So I'm going to get some tips from you about it tonight. But when we started seeing cornhole on ESPN, is that where your passion kind of just like exponentially went up, or were you playing this beforehand and like, hey man, I could do this, I can be on TV, I could be on ESPN and do this?
When I first came into this game, I literally had no clue about it. Even when I made my first broadcast, it was still kind of like, it really didn't hit me till I think a few months later. Then I was like, wow, that really did happen and stuff. But I remember even sitting down with Trey, and the first tournament I went to, I was 3 months in at Worlds. And he was even asking me, do you know who so-and-so is? And I was like, nope, I had no clue who anyone is. My 2 losses was actually Cheyenne Renner and Stacia Pugh. And I didn't even really realize who they were until, way later. And like how good of a girls, like those girls are phenomenal throwers. And, with Stacia retiring and everything, she's still a legend. But it was just kind of cool. Like, that was my first 2 losses when I came into it 3 months in. And I think that's what kind of cut me into it, because I was like, hey, I can do this, I can keep up, so it was definitely a game that I wanted to get better at, just because it was just, I couldn't do it in soccer. It's as much as I run, I can't just get better at it, because it has to do with my health stuff. So just like with cornhole, it was easy for me to like figure stuff out, or just spend hours at it and not be fatigued or tired.
Let me ask you this about the ACL. I have seen it on ESPN. I've watched a little bit and marveled at people that can do things that I couldn't even dream of. Is it
Mhm.
like, do you have different events throughout the country? Is it a traveling league, or do you kind of have like home courses, home events that you play at?
Rock Hill in South Carolina is actually our headquarters, so that's where Worlds is normally held.
Okay.
And then I know this season we're doing stuff internationally with other pro players from like other countries. So I know that's going to be new, or that is new this season. So that's going to be kind of exciting to get to play with other pros from other countries.
Now, how long have you been a professional cornhole player?
How long? For 2.5 years, I would say.
Okay, that would kind of jive when I think I remember first catching it on ESPN. So I've got another question for you here. I like to ask this question of people who have gone professional, looking to be in the professional ranks of something that most of the rest of the world just takes up for fun and for a hobby. When you're playing on tour or at an event in a televised match, of course you're playing to win. Do you still find joy in playing cornhole? Can you just go out with 3 or 4 friends on a Friday, Saturday night and throw bags and still have a good time and enjoy it?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually just right before here, I was throwing with two of my buddies, and I just enjoy the game a lot. It's something like it's just a vibe or something where every time when I'm playing with just anyone, it could be a social player too. It just anyone can play the game, so that's why it's kind of neat because then there's techniques and everyone is different in their own ways, but their strategy works or their way works too, So it's just kind of cool. I like to kind of just like mimic everyone's throws and just kind of see if I can do their throw too, or see if it works for me. So
Do
I'll,
you
I'll
enjoy
step where
like
I won't step and just
do you ever beat anybody though? Like you go to this like farm event or whatever, and everybody's like
you
everybody's
bar and
drinking, having a good
you see
time,
some
and then
boards.
you throw some cash down on the game, and people are like, oh, I'll take you for $100. You're like, okay, I'll take you for $100, and whip their tail and just completely walk out of town with some cash in the pocket.
yeah, those are always the best. Those are always the best and fun games, but it just is, But we're just, I'm totally fine with just playing for nothing too, and just kind of just meeting new friends and just vibing with everyone. So
So
I
Jeremy
mean,
has a
it doesn't have to
good
be a cash
question.
game. It can be.
During the tournaments, during the professional tournaments, are you allowed to have a little bit of suds in your hand and
Mm,
drink while you're playing the tournament?
absolutely.
That's
Really?
awesome. Hey,
All right.
sign me up right now.
All
I
right.
mean,
This is that
Yep.
You can't even do that in kayak fishing. Wow.
wow.
You can't drink
Oh,
while you're
really?
fishing, man. No. That's
Wow.
impressive.
So, yeah. So I've, you know,
Mm,
as I started playing, oh gosh, just backyard playing, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. And as it got more popular, I started wanting to see some of the things and learn some of the things and learn how to get better. So, a couple of questions that I've got for you. One of the first things
mm,
that I stumbled across was, well, I would play horseshoes, and the comparison between this and horseshoes looks extremely similar, but the games are definitely different. One of the things when you're throwing a horseshoe is to take a step. One of the things that I've learned when playing cornhole is I can throw better with my feet planted firmly. Um, do you
mm.
move your feet, or do you stand still as you're throwing?
I am more of a stationary thrower. I think that way I can adjust my foot from, if I'm staying still. But if I think taking a step every time, for me, I just feel like I'm not taking that same step every single time. But
Hmm.
I'm just not used to stepping either. But then I have started stepping recently, just every now and then because I had a rib out, so it was just kind of affecting my ribs a little bit. So I started stepping, but then it works sometimes, but it was kind of more like a feeling thing. It just kind of happened during a game. Like at Spencer McKenzie's, I just felt like I needed to step or something because I could not cut through that wind. And after I stepped, it was just, it actually worked for me. And then I played a lot better that whole entire tournament. And then it was just, after that, now I just kind of think maybe I should step and then I'll step and it'll just work for me. But yeah, I like to just stay still most of the time though. I'm a stationary thrower.
Okay. So pro tip, do you Frisbee toss, let the bag spin, or just knuckle it in a more higher toss? What do you recommend?
Definitely a flat bag. That way you can have more control when it hits the board and you can do more things with it versus knuckling the bag. Then it kind of just hits the board and tumbles and you don't really, it's unpredictable where it goes. So I would always say even if you don't hit the board, my advice would always be try to get that flat bag. Even if you're not hitting the board, just keep throwing that flat bag and then working your aim after that.
What is your favorite,
I have a question.
What is your favorite shot? Everybody's got like a name, like an airmail or something like that. What is your favorite shot that you would normally throw? Or
Depends on the situation, but I really do like the back doors or just airmail drags. I like making a mess and cleaning it up.
Wow,
that's what a lot of games look like when I'm playing. They look like they're a mess.
So can you explain why, like at game point, I always leave the bag short? I suck so bad. I mean, like my teammate, I always leave my teammate out to dry. Got 1 point to get, and I always leave the bag short. What's the cause of this disastrous move by myself?
Is
Depth
it always
perception.
your fourth bag?
What was
Probably
that, Jackie?
You're just a little bit your fourth bag, or is it like all your bags? Are you talking about
it's
just your
my
last bag?
My last bag. Like
Yeah.
when the game's on the line.
I would just say it's probably just like nerves or even like I guess I really have to see your situation or you throwing, but most time sometimes I know that I kind of just pull back when I'm throwing that last bag because you kind of just throw a little bit nervous, but then once you keep playing it for a while, then it just kind of I just remember like that's how I used to be. But now it's kind of like, oh, just make sure you finish and follow through all the way and not take that extra step or balancing myself out because I hold all my bags. So I'll just keep my arm up and just finish through like that.
Gotcha.
That way it's
does
the same with the other three bags.
Does the ACL have player ranks? And if they do, where do you rank right now in the world?
Ooh, I have not checked. We just had one national, but I haven't checked it. I did not do too well in singles and in dubs. I don't think we did. We didn't do too bad, but it wasn't that great either. I didn't really have a good first national.
John Fox asked, "Were you in Bradenton playing the regional a few months ago?"
Where was that at?
Bradenton. It's in Florida.
In the regional, nope, I was not.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Las Vegas was your last
what is the
one,
biggest
right?
tournament that you've won?
Biggest tournament, I'd probably say maybe the Dinosaur Classic in Utah. I won co-ed with one of my buddies here in Nebraska. Mm-hmm.
So what's the pot prize? I mean, is there a buy-in? Is there a pot prize that you win? Is it all sponsorship dollars? How do you get paid?
Basically from sponsorships or just from prize money. I think we won 750 that day. Let's see. I think that we probably only paid like a $50 entry fee for our team, and then I think we got paid out $750 for winning the whole tournament. So it wasn't bad. So
what's the biggest payout that ACL gives? Like, what's the championship or whatever?
The biggest payout probably for the shootout. I think they're gonna be paying out they've been paying out like six figures for the national at Worlds, and then for the shootout, I think it's gonna pay out 6 figures too.
6 figures. You said like $100,000 or more. Is that right?
Yep.
Right. You realize how much less of an investment that cornhole is versus kayak fishing, right, Greg? Yeah,
I paid six. I think I'm 6 figures into my kayak, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's
Santa
son.
Yeah, I think that you may have gotten yourself into the wrong sport, my friend.
No kidding. Jeremy asks, "Hey, do you ever see this becoming an Olympic sport?" That's a great question.
Yeah, definitely. Kevin Warner has gotten, he's been starting up the USA Cornhole stuff, and he's been doing a really good job. It's definitely going to be the Olympics, but I don't know how soon or how soon he's working on that. But it's definitely going to be.
Definitely going to be in the Olympics. Wow. Do you see yourself competing in the Olympics?
I hope so. This new generation coming up, these kids, they're so good, and it's if I can keep up in time, hopefully.
Right. This is becoming like an underground popular sport. I mean, it's amazing, like I compare it kind of like disc golf, like how that's kind of like this underground, very popular sport. Same as cornhole. It's really cool, man. I mean, everybody plays cornhole. I mean,
I'm not sure that I'd call cornhole exactly underground. It's becoming very mainstream.
Yeah, I would agree, but I mean, it's not like I wouldn't say it's like the top 5 sports or anything like that.
No.
But it's really becoming like pickleball. Darts,
lacrosse, one of those type deals.
Yeah, lacrosse is another one. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool, man. I mean, like, it's such a innovative concept to be able to put your sport, showcase it on a powerful network like ESPN, so everybody get to see it. Man, I was watching the championship round. Actually, had a good friend of mine that was actually one of my youth. It was in my youth group a long time ago. He was competing in it, man, and man, it's intense. It's legitimately intense. Like. And I'll tell you what, these guys and ladies, how they perform under pressure, man. I mean, it's just like, I compare it to any competition out there, man. It's really cool to see. John Fox says, "I'm no pro, but I play these tournaments also. I'm not very good. I got beat by a 15-year-old." I mean, he goes,
I get beat by both my daughters on quite a regular basis.
Yeah, no doubt. So do you ever roll up to like a college campus and there's a tailgate going on and you're like, "Hey, let's throw," and then you're like, and all people are like, "Whoa, what the hell just happened here?" Oh.
Yeah, there's times where I'll just walk through like the Husker tailgates and we'll see like a set and we'll be like, "Hey, can we play?" And there's actually one guy that was kind of being like a little jerk, and he was just kind of like, "Oh, it's only cash games, like you have to throw down money." And I'm like, "Okay," like, and I was all excited and stuff, but we ended up playing him and I ended up letting him keep his money though. But it was kind of cute that he was just like talking smack and then he just got his butt whooped.
You should have went title for title, man. Little pink slips.
Yeah. Just walk out of there with his boards.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No doubt. We'll have to bring
for his boards and his corn bag.
That would be a great Jackass video, man. Like a Jackass prank. Get Jackie on Jackass, right? And they go to like from town to town and get some jerk like that come up and you just whip his tail, man. I love to see that. Jim Thomas asks, "Hey, how would you convince a venue in a smaller town to host a league or regional?"
I mean, especially if it's a ACL event, tell them that it's the fastest growing sport right now, and it's been on ESPN, CBS, NBC Sports. It's they got a USA team, and it's gonna be an Olympic sport. So, I mean, how I got like smaller venues, I just kind of told them more about the league and sent them information about the league, and then they got them kind of a little interested. And then if you can get like even like at your tournaments, like even getting like a money tournament, I'm sure there's some pro around the area that will come to it anyways, and then it's just gonna build up the players and everyone coming, wanting to learn the game and just wanting to play with the pros or even just watching the pro play.
How many different like people show up to an event? Like, is it based on like the world rankings? Hey, the top 100 players go to this, or is it free for all? Anybody can sign up and play, or how does that work?
Well, the locals and the regionals are pretty, and the conferences is open to everyone, and so is the ACL Opens, which those are pretty big ones that they have like almost every other weekend or so. The schedule's on iPlayACL.com. They have the opens, and then for the pros they have the nationals and the shootouts, and those ones are just strictly for the pros. But the opens, the pros are allowed to play at, but it just you kind of just go into this big pool and you all play, and just kind of like rounders and see how like where you're ranked at, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and then you're able to play whichever level of singles you want to, and then there's women's and seniors too.
Is there like a handicap? I mean, you guys have like in golf, there's, like scratch golfers and, there's, tiers of golfers. Is that kind of how you guys do it in cornhole? How good you really are?
It just depends on the rounders, like where you place in the rounders, and it has like every point matters. So if you already lost the game and you have a bag left, you just want to try to finish all the way, just because in the end, those like point difference could make or break you from tier 1 or tier 2.
Hey guys, we're very familiar in the football world where the last person who's drafted each year in the NFL draft gets the title of Mr. Irrelevant. Do you know that we're speaking to Miss Irrelevant here right now? In the 2022 ACL teams draft, Jackie, you were the last pick overall, so that makes you Miss Irrelevant. Playing with the sliders, there's so much stuff that it's way bigger than we even know. So you have a special designation, and you should wear it with pride.
Draft. There's a draft for teams.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Yep, it's this new thing that they're doing this season. So it just they just had like captains for each team, and then the captains just kind of pick whoever they want on their team.
Okay, I got you.
How many players on each team?
What was that?
How many players are on each team?
We added more players. I don't know what the total is because we added the international players, and then we added the PDC players too.
Looking at your team roster, there's there's 7 of you who are on the sliders with your team captain Brett Guy. So that's the I am like going to have to dig up and find events. I mean, I'm searching as we talk. Why not? Find events.
So,
what's going on near me? What is going to bring you the closest to the Washington D.C. area?
I think the
traveling through the area to go somewhere else.
Okay.
Traveling through the area. Okay.
Yeah. Who stops in DC anymore?
I think I saw one in New Jersey next month, right?
Yep, that's going to be a national.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Okay.
So, do you want to choke somebody when they say, "Hey, let's go play some bago"? Do you like correct them on the spot?
No, I mean everyone just has their own way of saying it. I mean, I completely changed. I used to say bags all the time, but now I just say cornhole. I mean, some people they still like. Everyone here, they'll be like, "What is that?" Or they never. I get that question all the time.
Yeah, it's ACL, right? American Cornhole League. It's not American Bago League.
Bago.
As I'm looking at that, and guys, they're going to be right. The ACL is going to have a stop right up the street from you in Fredericksburg.
Very nice.
No kidding.
Can't find the date, but I'll do some more digging.
That'll probably have to be the Expo Center then, over by Nats Park. It might be nice new venue, Jackie. We would love to have you come by our area, and we'll take you out for some barbecue and fishing,
and we'll rope some of the guys in, and you can take their money, and we'll split it 4 ways.
Absolutely.
Take all the money.
She's paying. She's rolling in all that cash.
Awesome. Yeah. So
Jack, so that's your sponsor. talk about your sponsors
Good.
here real quick. Who's supporting you to keep your dream alive?
Right now, Bud Lightyear, and then
Love it.
it's JCL Fongdora.
Okay, Bud
So
Lightyear,
those are the two sponsors that have been. Sorry.
Brad Sebi.
What about Bud Lightyear?
But
Brad says hello.
what exactly is Bud Lightyear? Is that a new Bud Light that I don't know about, or am I way off?
Way off.
Okay.
It's just it's an apparel company, that a guy from my hometown, he kind of put it together, and soon he's gonna have his own strain and do all these other things with his brand and his podcast and all that stuff too.
Awesome.
Awesome. So I've got one more question for you, Jackie. So I asked you this, playing professionally versus playing for fun. So if you walked into my backyard and I had the grill going and cooler full of beer, how much would you beat me by if we were playing a game?
Depends what kind of beer you had.
It depends on the day.
I've got cold beer.
You might beat me. Maybe I might have a bad day.
What sort of tips do you have? Things to get a well below average player like me. Some tips that are gonna get me winning more than losing the next time I'm out playing.
I mean, just getting that flat bag and just not worrying about who you're playing next to you, just playing your game and just just have fun with it. Just kind of just mirror what you want from your partner. Just kind of have that hyped up vibe and just just have fun with it. And I think that every time when you like self-negative talk yourself, then you just kind of
psych yourself out.
Struggle a little more with it,
Okay.
I guess.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get too technical, but you know how like the bag and the beans in the bag kind of like spread all over the place. You have it in your hand, and some of the beans fall in each corner, and it gets top heavy and all that stuff. Do you have like a routine to where you even out the beans before you throw, or do you dissipate those beans? Again, I'm being so super technical. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But I mean, but do you flatten that bag out before you throw it? To make sure that you have that so-called flat bag.
It just really depends on the shot. I have to have the beads in my hand a certain way. Sometimes I do have to have the bag like completely flat first. Like I'll spin it, or I'll just hit it up against the board or something and just get completely flat. But I have to have the beads in my hand in a certain way, and how I release the bag and whether the seam's in my hand or away or on the side, is how I predict or do certain shots that I want to do. But
well, let's talk about that.
I think
Hold on.
just getting that comfortable grip in your hand, though.
Let's get into that. Look, I mean, it seems out. Does it like hook off to slice off to the right, or does it have a little draw? I mean, what's the technicalities for all this?
It just plays differently, just like how the bags hit the board, or just how it kind of plays faster or stays flat, or if I want it to kind of it's just easier for me. It's with certain bags, it's not the same with every single bag, so it just really depends for me. I think just because my hands are kind of small, so I kind of need that power, and I throw on stick side a lot just because I have to like kind of keep going all day, and that stick side just kind of helps me doing less work with the sticky side, but it's still it just really depends on me if I'm putting the seam in my hand or not, just getting a little help with an extra push where it slides a little faster, or if I need it to just stick and just stay.
And two quick questions. Do you get to pick which side of the board you can throw on, or is that predetermined? Like you'll have the right side and your opponent will have the left, or is that mutually agreed upon, or is that a draw, or?
So you do a coin toss, or you'll spin the bag first, and then decide who wins the toss. So whoever wins the toss, they get to decide opponents or B sides. So whichever one you choose, then the opponent gets the opposite, but then you can't switch after that. And then for color of bags, it just really depends who's the higher seed. So it won't matter for the coin toss for that. That's always the higher seed.
And my second question, I used to play football in high school, and I was probably one of the bigger guys on the team, and nobody really, I was ever afraid of. Is there ever an intimidation factor when somebody, because if I run into somebody that's like outsized me and I'm 6'2", I get, oh my God, this kind of intimidating. Is that kind of a thing like for cornhole? Because I've seen some of these competitors, and there's some scary people coming up to these events. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like this would scare the crap out of me.
Dude looks like the guy from Dodgeball walking out with his crew.
With some assless chaps,
Yeah, I don't think size really matters to me. It doesn't really. I mean, I'll walk up and to the board and just play my game, keep my head down, put my headphones in, and just kind of zone out. But yeah, I just have ADHD so bad, so I have my headphones in and I'm just zoned out and I don't see anything or hear anyone.
Wow. So is there a lot of trash talking in the pro level? I mean, there's tons on the campground, but is there a lot of trash talking on the pro level?
I'm starting to hear it more and more, but I don't know, maybe because I'm a female, but I hear it from other players definitely. I think it's definitely there, especially with even being on broadcast with fans talking and stuff too in the stands. It's getting a little more rowdy as we keep getting more into the whole season. But that's the only thing that's really has kind of changed. But it's also like a really good crowd. They get really hyped up and stuff too. So it's just kind of like with all sports where there's always just those players that are always going to boo other players, and it just more. It makes you just more hungry if people are cheering against you, or so I think it kind of helps some pros too. So, but
you don't have those idiots
that's why I just wear headphones.
You don't have those idiots that get in there and shout, "Get in the hole!" I mean, how original.
Yeah, like people are shooting airmail or just stuff all the time like that. They just want to see those good shots or crazy shots. But sometimes some of the players will do, when I was playing against on the international team on broadcast here a couple months ago, and everybody was telling Marlon to shoot it, and he just kept shooting it. He was making it, and after the broadcast, I was just giving him shit a little bit and just telling him that hey, nice job, show off or whatever, and we just kind of laughed it off. But it was he was really, really good with that stuff, and he was good with the crowd, and it kind of hyped up the crowd a lot every time he hit those airmails. And I was like, man, because he wasn't on my team, but every single time when he did it, I was happy at the same time because everybody's just getting hyped up. But I just was still trying to just stay focused on trying to beat them still.
We just never want to hear, we're going streaking.
We're going streaking. Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, Jackie, that was awesome conversation, man. Thank you for coming on. We're excited. I'm a fan. And where can people find you?
Thank you. You can find me on Instagram. It's just J_say3, or on Facebook, Jackie Sayasone ACL Pro.
Cool. Excellent. Does ACL have a YouTube channel and all that good stuff? Can we find you on YouTube throwing some bags on ACL?
They have a digital network, or you can go on American Cornhole League on Facebook, and they have some of their videos on there too. I'm not sure what's really on YouTube. I think it just kind of clips more than games, but the games are definitely on digital network, or I'm not sure if ESPN still has some of their. I know that it was still on the app, but I don't know how long they keep it on there. But there's some cornhole on there too.
Did ESPN renew the rights this year to the championship?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Jackie, it would really be awesome to stay in touch with you, to catch up with you maybe a little bit later on in the season. I'm sure you've got someone's contact here, so let us know when when your tournaments are, where they are. If you're going to make it on TV, let us know. We'll let everybody that's subscribed here with Motion Sports know, so they can get on and check you out and watch you whip somebody's tail.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you guys gotta take me out fishing then.
Absolutely, we do.
100%. 100%. Listen, you come in DC area, you come in Fredericksburg, we'll go bass and snakehead fishing. You'll absolutely enjoy it. I got the kayaks to set up, everything you need. Let's go.
That's awesome.
And then I'll bring my boards down and you can beat me with my own bags after fishing.
You're probably just gonna beat me. You're just sandbagging right now. He's probably just practicing.
No, he
every
sucks.
single day,
Yeah.
just airmail and everything.
No. I can beat
Like,
most
jokes on
people in my
you.
family except for my older daughter. Her and her fiance are pretty stinking good.
They play ACL.
Oh no! They play backyard, just like us, or hitting a bar. I'll have to turn them onto it as well. I'm sure they watch it on TV, but they play a whole lot more than I
That's the
do.
good thing about ACL though, because they have a novice and intermediate, division where you're still able to go to those events and still, watch those advanced players play or other pros play, but then you can still play in your division and have fun and not be so competitive with it and just kind of do that like the backyard playing instead. So I think that's always a good experience. And I mean,
do you know Curtis Kearns?
I'm
that
not
name
sure. I don't think so.
Okay, all right. He's a bigwig in cornhole. So anyway, he's one of the guys that I know real well. So, well, awesome. Well, listen, we're gonna end the broadcast. Jackie, thank you so much. Y'all be safe out there, and man, we're excited to have you on. Thank you for coming on.
And absolutely. Please stay in touch with us here.
Right on. All right. For Sam, for Drew, this is Greg.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you
again for having me on here. And
Jack,
it was awesome talking to you.
Thanks a lot. Absolutely.
Bye, Jackie. Thanks again.
Take care, y'all.
Bye, guys.
See ya.